Well, good morning again, everybody. It's Barb Katie, and I'm so glad to be here with you. Winter has West Virginia firmly in its grasp and doesn't seem to appear to be loosening its hold anytime in the very near future. Uh, Out behind me right now, I is a picture I just took. Oh, maybe 15 minutes ago, after I'd finished shoveling the driveway at the house. Um, we had snow overnight, and the temperatures have decided to plummet, and we'll be in the teens today, down in the single digits tonight, and that's going to be the way of things for at least the next 3 or 4 days. Welcome to our winter wonderland. Uh, this got me thinking a lot about just our day-to-day lives and how things happen that we may or may not be aware of when we are making plans. I was planning to go down and see my niece in Florida this week, but those plans are having to be adjusted just because of the weather. And it's not safe to travel right now. So those plans will be put on hold and rescheduled, and we're disappointed we aren't going to get to see each other exactly when we thought that we would, but it's better to be safe in all situations. And driving through the mountains of West Virginia when the snow is falling is not one of my favorite things to do. So I'll just chill out here with the penguins for a while and all will be well. Um, what I got to thinking about also was a post that was in our empowering group that I belong to and participate in and get so much help and encouragement from. And I thought I would just share this springboard because sometimes when you post things, you don't know who it touches, who it reaches, how they feel about it, whatever. Um, and this one was done by one of the people that contributes quite often to the group. Her name is Susan Reynolds. And it was actually a poster on different ways of managing stress. And I think all of us have degrees of stress, high, low, moderate, throughout our lives at any point in time. Um, so with that in mind, I focused on what this poster had to say. And as I was looking at it, I thought, wow, this actually applies everywhere, every way that I can think of right now, this particular poster. Uh, and the key word that I picked up on was the word manage. How do you manage? What are some ways you manage? And what do you manage? Well, of course, like the poster design said, we manage stress. Whenever it comes up, you have to deal with whatever it is. You usually can't really run away. You usually have to stay. And then you have, once you decide that you have to stay, then you have to find ways to cope. And so that led me to think about what else do I manage? Well, I manage the meals. Know what I take into my body to nourish it and keep it strong and healthy. I, I'm the manager of that. I'm the person that makes the choices. I fix the meals, I buy the food, I uh, decide which meals are going to be served at what time. I decide if they're going to be snacks. I'm the manager. And then I thought, okay, what else do I do? Well, I certainly manage my attitude. Uh, you get to choose your attitude every day, and I truly do believe that you can decide to be really ticked off at something or somebody. You can decide to embrace it. You can decide to enjoy it. You can decide to ignore it. But you get to control your attitude, and your attitude also impacts people around you in ways that you may not realize, you may not understand. You just may be sort of oblivious to it in your own little cocoon, but your attitude does impact others. And one of the easiest ways to test that out is to be standing in line somewhere and smile at somebody, and you can feel the change in the entire line, not just in the one person, but with every other person that was standing in line with you, when they saw you smile and nod your head at whoever it was. It's just amazing how you can manage things. And managing your attitude leads to managing your behaviors, because that smile was a behavior you chose to make. And that behavior impacted everybody around you in the group. Um, and so uh, I thought, wow, I also manage my activity. I decide I'm going to sit in the couch or sit in the chair and either watch TV or play video games on the computer, or uh, check mimes or whatever, or groups that I belong to. How long am I going to do that? Am I going to get up and be active and do something else? Like yesterday when the snow was falling down so steadily, I thought, well, do I go out there and shovel snow right now while we've got maybe 4 inches down? Or do I wait until later when we've got a lot more snow? Or do I do the little we have right now and then go out later on and do more? And a lot of that has to do with your assessment of the shape you think you're in and what you feel you're up to taking on, what your challenge is going to be. You get to manage those choices. So I decided I'd rather go out now while the snow was still coming down, knowing that it would probably be partially covered up by the time I got done doing the driveway and out the sidewalk out to the mailbox. So I did. I bundled up, uh, got my gloves and my beanie on, and out I went and got it cleared. And then later, I went out and shoveled again, and I had just come in to talk to you now. I shoveled again this morning. And it was not as hard because there was not as much accumulated. And again, I got to manage how much I took on based on what I saw as my ability to physically deal with whatever it was. And that's a great thing to know, that you can very often uh, manage to control your environment in so many difficult ways. Uh, Diverse ways, not difficult. Though I tell you, this morning when I went out and shoveled, it was a little difficult because more snow had fallen during the night than had at the initial stage of the shoveling. Um, so in this poster that Susan had posted, there were all also timelines. What can you do right now if something happens? What can you do for the short term? And what can you do for the long term? And again, uh, most things follow the same pattern when it comes to coping with life in general, a particular situation that comes your way, whether it's in the moment, whether it's to have a sort of plan in place, and then to really focus on making this a part of your everyday life that you are pretty much always going to be prepared for, and hopefully handle in a really positive way, rather than being unprepared and maybe just uh, panicking and trying many different things that may not help at all. And, instantly, that's the first thing you usually think of when something happens, or something is needed, or an event is in process that you have walked into and now need to adapt and adjust to. And the classic take a deep breath is probably one of the best ways instantly to get a perspective because it oxygenates your body, it oxygenates your brain as a result. Um, it makes you take a moment to pause, to be able to respond and not just give a knee-jerk reaction to something that is going on. That breath helps you manage, and that's done in an instant. Um, I know this sounds really weird to you, and to me also is there something funny going on? Now, occasionally when things sort of stress you out, if you really look at them, there's a humorous element involved in it. Uh, and if you can see the humor in it, which, comics are really good at doing that, that helps to diffuse the situation. Sometimes, if you can just look at a cartoon or a funny video or something just to break the pattern, that helps. And then one of our most powerful senses when it comes to coping with things and dealing with them and managing the situation is our sense of smell, because it will recall other memories of other times, and it will help you relax more. I love to light vanilla candles, especially if it's been a hard day and I'm just wanting to chill out. I don't instantly light a vanilla candle, but I will do that very often if it's been a rough day and just let the aroma fill the room. And that relaxes me. That may not be a scent that you particularly are fond of. You may have your own special scents that you prefer, but it is a choice you can make very quickly. I have a vanilla candle that sits in the living room that I will often light in the evening just to sort of mellow out and let the day settle down and be still in the moment and reflect on what has happened during that period of time. More short-term things that I think that we can all sort of look at is having the ability to take a walk. Um, you know, Even if it's just around your property or the building in which you live, just, maybe to walk down to the rec room or to the social room, just a change of scene, a way of getting your body propelling you through space, for a period of time, not necessarily calling it exercise, though it of course is, but giving you the benefit of the activity physiologically and how you feel, which in effect is going to influence how you cope with whatever is going on in the moment. Writing down your feelings. Again, I shared with you as the year came to a close and we started the new year, the gratitude messages that I collected just for myself. I did it in the evening every day last year, and was really delighted to have made that commitment to myself, to just write one thing down on a little slip of paper and putting it in that jar of something good that happened that day that I was grateful for. A lot of people don't like to journal. They don't like to feel like they have to write things down. I find that that type of journaling works for me. It's beneficial to me because I often forget the little things that make our lives so magical and so wonderful. And just jotting them down at the end of the day and preserving them for a while so I can recall all the good in my life is truly meaningful. And it's something short term that each of us could do. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. You don't have to write a full page, though you could if it's been that magnificent of a day. Uh, but just to make sure that you acknowledge this day that I was in the world, this happened, and I'm grateful. Same way with meditation. Sometimes it's really hard for a lot of us who are pretty much on the move, and our minds seem to always be churning up something. Um, it's good for us to take time to be still, to take time to reflect, to take time to be calm and appreciative. Very important. And again, we manage it. We set aside a little bit of time to do that, to be reflective, to just be one with our surroundings. And it doesn't have to be anything extremely Zen-like. It can just be a moment to listen to maybe your favorite music, uh, look at some of your favorite pictures, uh, smell your favorite smells, go outside in the fresh air, and just simply be for a while. Uh, all things that we manage. We set this up, and this impacts the life we live every day. And then as things evolve and develop, and we see what works best and what doesn't, and what we may feel we need to focus more on, then we make long-term changes. We lead ourselves in that directions. I know for me, long term, eating healthy is the goal, to try to fuel my body with the best energy producing elements that I possibly can. Uh, I do much better when I eat healthy. And you will have to decide what eating healthy means for you long term, just like I will have to decide what eating healthy means for me. We'll talk to our doctors, we'll talk to our dietitians, we'll talk perhaps to a trainer or a, a therapist, a physical therapist that is helping us with a condition or an injury that we're recovering from. But we're the people that manage long term eating healthy. We're the people that manage long term what activities, what exercises are going to benefit us and bring more enjoyment to our lives. We get to make those choices. And we also get to make the choice of how much we work, how hard we work, what we need to do to maintain our work schedules. And we also need to manage making time for leisure, for play, because play has a huge, huge contributing factor to our long-term well-being. Um, I don't think anybody can watch a child playing and the different expressions that the child goes through in the act of playing. It's just not simply dressing up Barbie or riding your bike or playing catch in the yard with your friends. Uh, it is making time to relax, to have leisure, to enjoy and not feel guilty about. To understand that, wow, working hard is certainly necessary. So is relaxing peacefully necessary to manage to balance our lives. Um, I want to thank Susan so much because she really, with that one post, gave me a lot to think of this week in terms of how I am the manager of the outcomes of my life, as well as the many inputs that occur over which I don't always have total control, but I can manage my responses and continue to live my best life. Um, I think that's a goal for all of us to look at, to live our best lives. And isn't it comforting to know that we do have the ability to manage whatever comes along, to reach out for resources when needed, to find ways in the moment to handle most things that come up, and to make a plan to live long and prosper. So that's my wish for you for this week is to manage your life in a positive way that brings you joy every single day. I'll say goodbye for now, and I will talk to you later. See you soon.